Mr. Greenstreet believes the Electoral Commission chairperson's role requires a person who appeals to all and has therefore called for broader consultation before any appointment.
We want a first-class EC in this country, and we want to find a way of resolving the difficulties that we have witnessed from the previous group of leaders who were there, even though the matters are still not being fully settled by the Supreme Court and there's some outstanding issues. Clearly, at some point in time, we have to move on. These are the choices that the President and the government have made. So we are ready to work with neutral persons who are dedicated to ensuring that there's transparency and fairness in our electoral process. There's a lot of work to be done at the EC, and we are ready to collaborate. I'm surprised by the speed of the nominations that have taken place. I thought perhaps maybe a little time would have passed before these nominations were made, and perhaps greater discussions and engagements with different sectors could have taken place before this announcement. It had come as a surprise to me. It's not something that we were expecting to hear at this point in time. However, once that decision has been made, I think you're not going to find necessarily a perfect individual which is capable of satisfying all parties. So let us observe as we discuss the events as they unfold. As you know, IEA, of which Jean was the Executive Secretary, has been engaged with the activities of political parties over a lengthy period of time. And you should know that it is rare for political parties to sit down necessarily and agree always on certain issues. And the whole matter has become very contentious, which is why, as I said, the announcement at this particular point in time has surprised me. I thought that we would have tried to wait for a point in time where we could have achieved an appointment that would have ensured greater consensus and greater buy-in by all the relevant stakeholders and parties concerned.
Meanwhile, the opposition NDC is still questioning the neutrality of President Akufo-Addo's nominee for the position of EC chairperson. The executive director for the Institute for Economic Affairs, Madam Jean Mensa, was nominated yesterday for consideration by the Council of State as a substantive EC chair following the removal of Charlotte Osei from that office. Her nomination has sparked debate concerning particularly her neutrality, considering the office that she will be occupying. The minority NDC has publicly stated their disappointment at her nomination, labeling her as a pro-NPP and saying that she is being brought in to rig the 2020 elections in favor of the ruling party. Speaking on the AM show this morning, NDC MP for South Dairoxen Dafia Mekpo said the conduct of Madam Mensa's close association with the president casts a slur on her appointment and gives the NDC no assurance that she will be impartial in executing her duty.
We don't need a person of a political leaning to be appointed to such position.
Okay, so now let's connect. Right. Let's connect why she's MPP.
We are saying that Jean has more leaning towards the MPP. And so the proof is there.
Where is it?
They have documentary evidence.
Really?
Concerning comments and circumstances that suggest strongly.
So help us appreciate what you're saying.
What did she say? Why? What did she say?
We have evidence to suggest that she visits the president often.
I seen President Akufo-Addo.
Exactly.
In what capacity?
Tell me.
In what capacity? Why?
Oh, why would she be visiting the president? Are they acquaintance? In what capacity? We want to know.
So she visits the president frequently?
Yes. Okay. That's the evidence we have to suggest.
As Nana Adanko Akufo-Addo became president?
Even after that.
Okay.
Even after that.
Okay.
So we are saying that it is possible that when she occupies this position, she will not be neutral. She will not be apolitical.
Legal practitioner Martin Pebu is calling for a probe into the concerns being raised by the minority and others about the neutrality of the president's EC chairperson nominee, Jean Mensa. He spoke to Mama V Osuabuaje on the AM show.
We all know very well that the EC is such a critical governance institution. The EC is the midwife of our elections. So generally you would want somebody who stands tall, generally somebody who stands above partisan considerations. So let's interrogate the concerns that they are raising and find whether there is merit, you see, because that's how come that prior to this appointment, you know, I'd been here, several other platforms. Even the president even started it when he was in opposition. So we thought that, oh, then now that he's in power, then it makes it easy because he was one of the front runners.
So can I ask you a straight question then? Did you feel that that was done, the broader consultation?
Absolutely.
I think you particularly mentioned Gabi.
Absolutely
and what he had to say.
Yeah, absolutely no, because the president had set the bar. He said broad, open, so broad and open consultations.
Away from that, the Ministry of Education is currently undertaking a rigorous review of the country's educational institutions' curricula. This exercise is expected to develop critical thinking of students at all levels. That's according to the Council Chairman of the Ghana Education Service, Michael Nsoa. He says the review should end the practice where facilitators or students spoon-feed learners instead of adopting practical-oriented approaches geared towards unearthing the innate talents and skills of students. Mr. Nsoa disclosed this as the 6th graduation ceremony of Jackson College of Education, from where Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin's report comes from.
Since its commencement in 2009, Jackson Educational College has produced over 7,000 diplomats who are nurtured to meet the growing demand of today's educational need. Council Chairman of the Ghana Education Service, Mr. Michael Nsoa, advised the graduates to be wary of behaviors that do not augur well for the profession. He also cautioned teachers to desist from ridiculing their students via social media.
Advise them to be wary of those behaviors, like, you know, stripping children naked when they go wrong, or when they are unable to do some work in the classroom. Then you take your phone and to, you know, ridicule this child on the social media. It is highly unprofessional, and that's why I was calling that if they are going to do that, they should be sure that the system will not tolerate that, and then we'll make sure that they don't continue to be teachers.
Mr. Nsoa said the Ghana Education Service would effectively cooperate and support the Ministry of Education to ensure a successful completion of reviewing curricula of educational institutions in the country. Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, Reverend Father Professor Anthony Afo-Broni, indicated that development of Ghana depends on its resources, and therefore teachers should be upright and knowledgeable.
The development of a country depends on the quality of its human resources. The basic school teacher is therefore a very important person and should be well groomed to impart the right knowledge to the peoples. The peoples must be taught the way they should go, and when they are old, will not depart from it.
1,393 students graduated with diploma in basic and French education.
Now, of the 2 million girls aged between 15 and 19 years in Ghana, nearly 1 million are anemic. The situation has been attributed to malnourishment. The United Nations Children and Emergency Fund, UNICEF, says the development is impeding the academic progress of girls in areas where the prevalence is high. To address the challenge, UNICEF and its partners in development introduced the Girls Iron Folate Tablet Supplementation Program to reduce the effect of this situation among adolescent girls in 4 poverty-ridden regions in the country. Charity Emehel Battels has more in this report.
The Girls Iron Folate Tablet Supplementation was launched in 2017 to reduce the extremely alarming high rate of anemia among adolescent girls in Ghana. The long-term objective is to ensure the future of the adolescent girl is not compromised. The initiative, first of its kind in Africa, provides free iron and folic acid supplement to menstruating girls and women aged 10 to 19 years. Anne-Claire Duffy speaks for UNICEF Ghana.
We have started this program to provide the tablets once a week, tablets of iron and folic acid, so that the girls, can basically be stronger and study better in school. And so we had to explain that no, this is not a contraceptive pill. This is a pill that that is rich in iron and folic acid, that would help the girls be stronger. They won't feel tired when they're menstruating, and when you explain that to the communities, to the girls, they accept it and they take it. But we don't force it on people.
The program was rolled out in 4 regions, which include the Bonafa region, Volta region, Northern and Upper East regions, and is expected to be replicated in other parts of the country, depending on the availability of funds. 360,000 girls in junior and senior high schools, vocational and training institutions, and 600,000 out-of-school girls are expected to benefit from the GIFTS initiative when it is fully operationalized countrywide. Headmistress of the Dambai MA Junior High School, Amenya Edith Iyawa, says GIFTS has improved the academic performance of girls in schools.
Some of them, when they are in their menses, you see them that they feel very sick. When they come to school, they are very dull. They can't do anything. Even in the classroom, when teacher is teaching, they put their heads on the desks. At times, they come to me, ask permission that, Madam, I'm in my menses, I'm facing abdominal pain, so I want to go to the house. And I have nothing to say than to allow them to go. But since we started this food supplement, nobody came to me again with that problem.
Over 4,500 teachers and 3,000 health workers have been trained to man the program since its introduction in 2017. Some beneficiaries spoke with Joy News.
That I was not taking the drug. If I get my menses, my abdomen have been paining me. At times too, I'll be sleeping. I can't. If I'm working, then I'm not feeling like I can feel like sleeping. But now, the time I'm taking the medicine, I'm not hearing the pain of my abdomen again, and I'm not feeling tired when I'm working.
When I was not taking the medicine, when I get my menses, it lasts for 3 days, then it will stop. But now that I'm taking the medicine, when I menstruate, it lasts for 1 week. Now I can learn hard. I know how to, talk to when I'm not taking the medicine. It's like when I want to talk to my teacher, I feel lazy. I talk to my teacher like I'm talking to even my brothers. But now I feel happy when I'm talking to my.
The first phase of the program is expected to end in 2019, with 20% reduction in anemia in the 4 focal regions. Charity Emihil Batel's reports for Joy News, Karachi East.
Away from that, a private helicopter with registration number SA365C3-N5073 transporting gold from Bibiani Chirano gold mines to Accra has forced an emergency landing onto a maize farm at Kumikrum near Asamankese in the eastern region. Regional correspondent Maxwell Kodeko joins us on the phone with more. Maxwell, what has caused the emergency landing?
Well, we are told that the helicopter developed a mechanical fault, a fault that we're yet to ascertain exactly what caused, but we are told that it is a mechanical fault that developed. The fault was detected at Yanoa near Samankese, but the captain was able to land forcefully at Kumikrum near Asamankese, just some few meters away from Yanoa. So basically, it is a mechanical fault that caused the forced landing.
Was there any casualty?
There were 4 crew members on board, namely Captain Abdul Salam Gifti Danso, who is a customs officer, David Fosu and Eje Kumi, who are also internal security personnel from the gold mines. Thankfully, we didn't record any casualty. The helicopter landed safely without any casualty.
What's the state of the helicopter now?
It is broken down at Kumikrum under street police protection. Just about 5 hours after the incident, the police and other security personnel were able to guard the gold and the broken down helicopter till they ordered for a new one to pick the gold bars from Kumikrom to Accra. So basically, the broken down helicopter is still at Kumikrom under the police protection, right, as we speak.
Right, but what have the owners and the pilots been telling you?
We're here to speak with the owners of the helicopter, but the police tells us that everything is under control. All that they can report or all that they can say is that the helicopter had a mechanical fault and it had to land forcefully.
Thank you very much, Maxwell Kodeko, for that report. You're still watching Joy News today on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has debunked the Finance Ministry's claim that the Ghana Education Service Occupational Pension Scheme's 80-month contribution of the temporary pension fund account had been released. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the 2018 mid-year budget review on Thursday said 3 million cedis has been transferred into the temporary fund account. That's a temporary pension fund account. Speaking at the 56th Ghana National Association of Teachers and the Canadian Teacher Federation Professional Development Program in Kumasi, Head of Salaries, Terms and Conditions, Ahina Kwakwashi, believes the minister has either been misinformed or he's speaking pure political propaganda.
7 years of agitation.
Mr. Kwashi was not happy with the National Pension Regulatory Authority acting as both the custodian and pension fund manager. A situation he says contravenes the National Pension Act 2008, Act 766.
You know, the money, they said there was no money, so we're going to use bonds in paying those things. So it's just like papers. Now, these papers, instead of NPRA handing them to the GS Occupational Pension Scheme, and for that matter, our custodian, which is the Universal Merchant Bank, NPRA is saying that we don't have a custodian. That's the funny aspect of it. They say we don't have a custodian. But the question is, if we don't have custodian, why is it that from September 2016 to June this year, every month our monies or contribution hits our custodian account? So why are you keeping that of the temporary pension fund account? You see, the problem that we have had is that because UMB was nominated by the previous government, they don't want to give the money to UMB to manage.
He called for calm among members as the Ministry of Labour prepares to clear outstanding payments, including promotional arrears of some 30,000 teachers.
Indeed, just last Monday, the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Honorable Wekunrobe, sent me a text message indicating that the consultant had finished his work. And Tuesday, I was at the Controller and Accountant General's Department office with the Director Payroll, where the consultant came in and confirmed that they have almost finished the work. Over 10,000 teachers are going to be paid. And he confirmed that the data they have presented to CAGD is credible and that these teachers will be paid.
The Canadian Teachers Federation has been collaborating with the Ghana National Association of Teachers for 56 years. Ghanaian teachers have enjoyed bursaries for further studies and mentorship among others. The Canadian team comprising 8 resource persons who train and upgrade teachers' competencies in early childhood development, literacy and numeracy. This year's training comprised 480 teachers from the Upper West, Upper East, Northern and Brown Ahafo regions. Some of the beneficiary teachers spoke to Joy News.
We've learned a whole lot, even how to prepare your own TLMs when maybe we find it difficult to prepare some TLM. But since we came here, what they taught us, I think we've learned how to prepare our own TLM, even if we don't have them.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
So watching Joy News today, I am Daniel Dazi. Still up ahead in the bulletin, a Wa Circuit Court presided over by Justice Bar Forsen Ijapong has sentenced a Nigerian national, David Icke, to 5 years in prison, whilst 2 of his compatriots are being remanded into prison custody to reappear on August 9. 5 others are on the run. In our agenda series on defective traffic lights, we take you to the PNT intersection close to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where pedestrians are risking their lives daily to cross the busy road. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, in our agenda series on defective traffic lights, we take you to the P&T intersection close to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where pedestrians are risking their lives daily to cross the busy road. Traffic lights there have not worked for the past 8 months, resulting in many accidents. In the latest incident, a pregnant woman was knocked and badly injured by a speeding vehicle. Joy News' Mapito Sebidi was there and now reports.
It's a busy Monday afternoon here at Tiptoe Lane. The time is 3:30 p.m. People are going about their daily activities. I see 4 pupils desperately trying to cross, but will only be able to when there's no car in sight.
It's a busy Monday afternoon here around the Tiptoe Lane at Kwame Nkrumah Circle. The time is 3:30 p.m. People are going about with their daily activities. I see 4 pupils desperately trying to cross, but will only be able to do so when there is no car in sight. The traffic lights don't work. Kwame Boateng has been selling mobile phones here for 5 years. He's seen several accidents. He tells me he has personally seen a pregnant woman run over by a vehicle.
Almost repair. Up to date. Many accidents. Besides, Council Bonipa. Last time I was saying a pregnant woman. Oh, chum, naka hitting. But results in any say one. There
have been many road accidents here. One day, a vehicle knocked down a pregnant lady, but luckily she survived. It is quite disturbing because crossing the road has become a nightmare for pedestrians, and drivers are not patient, especially the private cars, because they drive at top speed. I was standing here, right here, when a VIP bus clashed with another car some time ago. We plead with the authorities to fix the traffic lights immediately.
So that's the problem.
Hundreds of pedestrians cross this route daily. It's always a choice between dangerously navigating in between vehicles and waiting several minutes when these traffic lights don't work. You're forced to go through the ritual to look left, look right, left again many more times than they would like to. For some pedestrians, indifference helps to cope with a frustrating situation.
In Ghana, our major problem is the culture of maintenance. We can put things in place, but the culture of maintaining them has become a big issue for the nation. And you see, there are so many things that are going bad because we don't know who does the routine checks on this thing and see that they are working or not. So we have to get people who are ready to work in place, because if they don't do the routine checks, they may not know which traffic lights are not working. I don't know whether there is a computer system, because we're in a computer age. Is a computer system that can monitor the traffic lights to tell who which traffic light is working and which one is not working. So if the gadgets are not there helping them to work, I think they have to put certain things in place so that those things will work effectively for pedestrians and then the drivers and then the vehicles.
For Isaac Efripa, these traffic lights have not been working much longer than 8 months. He's much more concerned about the risk children are exposed to while crossing this road.
When the school children are run crossing the road, unless they get someone to escort them to, cross that side, because the traffic light is not working. And it's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. At times, it used to happen some accidents.
Red means stop. Yellow means get ready to stop. Green means go, 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 and go.
But what happens when the traffic lights don't work? A Pitso CBD's report for Joy News.
And moving on, St. John's Grammar School is one of the senior high schools running the free SHS program. Due to this, the school's population has increased to about 3,000 since its implementation. A new dormitory constructed to ease congestion has done little in addressing the problem because of the risk involved in accessing a rickety wooden bridge which connects the old structure to the new facility. Moved by the plight of the students, the 1990-year group of JOSA has constructed a new bridge for the school. There's more in this report.
Though they have a new dormitory, accessing it has been a major challenge for months because of the rickety bridge. A number of students feared using it owing to its weak nature. The old students, having taken note of the challenge, decided to rehabilitate the structure to enable the students have full benefit of the new boarding facility. They believe the newly constructed bridge will make the movement of the students to and from the new dormitory much safer. President of JOSA 1990-year group, Diana Josino, handed over the completed project to the school authorities to charge students to emulate the gesture and be agents of change.
It hasn't been an easy task at all, but I now know that anything you want to do and you put in some effort, you can be able to achieve it. So I want to encourage the other year groups to come together so we could help the school. The school needs a lot of assistance. We have to come together to help the school. We were here some time ago and we are out of the place. By God's grace, we are doing well, at least. So the little we have, we can bring it together so we can help the school move on.
A visibly excited chaplain, Reverend Betty Baidu, promised to ensure proper maintenance of the bridge.
This bridge will be very, very beneficial to us. We have a school population of almost 3,000 when the Form 1s join. And coming here, if we don't get a very solid bridge, the students are going to hurt themselves. We will not even get the number that we need at the time that the people should be here. So as they come, and they go through, walk on the bridge, we are sure of their safety. So it is very, very beneficial to us at this time, very timely.
For these students, it's a dream come true.
This bridge construction is going to be of a lot of help to us. For instance, at first people could not pass it because if you have a lot of people passing by, they can fall into the gutter. But because of the bridge, we are able to pass in groups and without delaying. It helps us to get here on time whenever we are having school programs.
The only thing I would like to say to all the old students who made this bridge is that may God richly bless them for their hard work. We really appreciate that.
Now, today marks the 6th anniversary since the demise of the late President, Professor John Atta Mills. The library built in his memory is, however, still under lock and key. Richard Kojo has joined us from Cape Coast, from the central region, I should say, where that library is. Kojo, in the first place, where is this library? What is the story behind it?
Well, this library is situated just opposite the Cape Coast Castle, and it's adjacent the First Anglican Church in the central region. And it was built some 4 years ago after it was commissioned by former President John Dramani Mahama. This library hasn't worked before. It's still under lock and key. We understand that the key to the library is still with the contractor. And during the commissioning, we heard that it was sponsored by some of the telephone companies and built in the honor of the late president. But people are asking questions that if they knew that they were not going to use the library for the intended purpose and it would tend to be a white elephant blocking the view of the Cape Coast Castle, why did they do it in the first? And they are saying that it is rather a disgrace to the memory of the late professor rather than the honor they wanted to do, because they are asking the anniversary planning committee that saw to the building of this edifice that they should come out clear and answer the questions behind the closure of the library. The University of Cape Coast that is supposed to manage the facility is not also, I mean, they say that they have not been handed over the keys, and so they cannot manage a facility that is not theirs, even though their names have been mentioned in the document that they are supposed to be the managers of the facility. This morning we got to the presidential library. We saw that there are a lot of placards that are dotted around this presidential library. Some of the inscriptions are, well, did they build the library in the honor of the late president, or did they
Richard.
disgrace him? Yeah.
Richard.
Yes.
Which people are these?
These are the Oguaman Impuntu Association. These are the people that they say that they are Cape Coast Youth for Development.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Akufo, for that report. Coming to us there from Cape Coast, where there have been some protests for the construction of the library, for the opening of the library, which was constructed in memory of the late President Mills. To the northern parts of the country now. And the Iwa Circuit Court, presided over by Justice Bar Forson Ejapong, has sentenced a Nigerian national, David Icke, to 5 years in prison, whilst 2 of his compatriots are being remanded into prison custody to reappear on August 9. 5 others are on the run. David Icke and his compatriots were captured by a CCTV camera stealing an amount of 5,900 Ghana cedis belonging to the Pharmacy Council in Wa. David Icke was arrested and discharged for stealing, conspiracy to steal, and unlawful entry. He pleaded guilty to the charge and was sentenced to 5 years on each of the charges. Now, 2 other Nigerians who were mentioned by David as his accomplices were later arrested, but they denied being part of the crime. Joy News' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam sat through the court proceeding and reports from Wa.
Though crime in the Upper West region generally for the past 6 months is on the decline, that does not mean the criminals and their elements are asleep. They have, however, devised new ways of surviving in their evil and criminal act. Here is how it works.
For some time now, there have been incidents of people breaking into cars. A team or a group of, let me say, delinquents would hang around the banks. When anybody takes out money, they'll follow the person to wherever he is, or to where they think is convenient to snatch the money or to steal the money from him, then they will take it.
With the exception of the mastermind of the alleged act, David Icke, who has been in the Wa Township for close to 6 months, none of his other 7 compatriots have stayed in town for more than 2 weeks. Their victim, a driver with Pharmacy Council Wa, was sent to the Wa branch of the Ghana Commercial Bank to withdraw an amount of 5,900 Ghana cedis. After withdrawing the money, he placed it on the letterbox in the car and went to the Total filling station and started Standard Preparatory School on some errands. When he returned to the office, he detected the money was stolen. Senior State Attorney, lawyer Said Abdul Shakur prosecuting the case, told the court that the footages from CCTV cameras at the Ghana Commercial Bank and the Total 1 filling station helped the police to apprehend the first accused.
Unfortunately, this time, when they went to the court, the CCTV camera caught them outside trailing the car. The car drove to Total filling station and the CCTV camera again caught them. But they followed it to a primary school, Star Standard, and took out the money belonging to Pharmacy Council. But from the footage and from a thorough investigation by the police eventually led to the arrest of one of them, who led us to the arrest of 3 other accused persons. But 4 are on the run. And unfortunately, all the 8 are Nigerians. The first accused person actually admitted to the offense, so he has been convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment, but the 2 others are pleaded not guilty, and we are going through the trial.
The court, presided over by Justice Bar Forson Ejapong, has adjourned the hearing to August 9, while the 2 accused persons, Chidi Inua and Anthony Ibe, are to remain in their former bail. The duo are charged with 3 counts of stealing, conspiracy to steal, and unlawful entry. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Still live in Joy News today. It's time for Business with Odelia.